Donald Trump continues to lose big in the various court cases where he's either a criminal or civil defendant. His conduct is getting even more unhinged, dangerous, bizarre, and deranged, if that's even possible. I want to show you the post that Donald Trump has made after he had two major court losses, both in New York just happened. So first, Donald Trump lost a major motion in federal court in New York where E. Jean Carroll was granted summary judgments, and the federal judge found as a matter of law that Donald Trump engaged in the defamatory conduct. All a jury will need to decide in January is damages. E. Jean Carroll prevailed on her summary judgment motion. Also in New York State Court Judge Arthur Engoron rejected Donald Trump's attempt to try to delay New York Attorney General Letitia James' $250 million fraud valuation claim against Donald Trump that will be going to trial on October 2nd. Both major losses for Donald Trump. So he goes on a social media platform and he whines like a little petulant third-grade fascist. I'm not just going to show you what Donald Trump posted. I want to compare it to what President Joe Biden is doing and saying as well. So here's what Donald Trump writes. They spied on my campaign and beat me twice. Had the Russia hoax, the fake dossier hoax, FISA fraud, election fraud, the no collusion Mueller hoax, and so much more. I was innocent on all counts. If I am elected, they will be brought to justice. And he puts that in caps, so he thinks that makes him sound like a tough guy, something that Republicans have always been afraid to do. As I mentioned in another video, at this point Donald Trump is basically just making sounds like Russia. At some point it's just gonna be like Google Gaga, and you're still gonna have the Republican Party, which is now the MAGA Republican Party, be like, that's brilliant. Give this man the nuclear codes. Like, what in the world is going on, folks? Even if you remove her, the second that he's a malignant narcissist, a criminal, treacherous, misogynistic, and so forth and so on, these posts are just freaking weird behavior for any human being to engage in. Here's Donald Trump's next post. He is a stone-cold loser. Oh, okay, like that's what you're talking about. Donald Trump's next post. For 7 years, Mike Pence only spoke well of me. Now he's decided to go to the dark side. Why didn't he do this years before? Just like why didn't DOJ and deranged Jack Smith bring these fake indictments 3 years ago? Why did they wait until the middle of my campaign, where I am beating the sanctimonious and all others badly and beating Biden? You're not beating Biden, number one, and beating the sanctimonious is not exactly worthy of a trophy. The sanctimonious DeSantis, that Santa's, whatever you call this guy, is like the single worst candidate ever. He is a complete and total loser in every way and just really weird as well. Well, I think I agree Mike Pence should have not supported you earlier, but I think it took the time where you tried to murder him that made him go, you know what, I'm not gonna fully support the guy who wanted to murder me. By the way, Pence is like, I'd still vote for the guy who wanted to murder me, but Pence says, like, I'm just not going to be that supportive. But if I have to vote for the guy who attempted murder on me, I'll give him the vote because the MAGA Republicans are spineless. But that may be a reason also. Jack Smith wasn't even appointed until November of 2022, and Jack Smith has engaged in a diligent investigation and has produced millions of records. Here's Donald Trump's next post. He posts a letter that he received in 1987 from Richard Nixon, where Richard Nixon says, I did not see the program, but Mrs. Nixon told me that you were great on the Donahue show. Why are you posting this? Like, what is it that you are doing here? Compare this to what President Biden is posting and doing. Insulin costs $10 to make, but companies have charged 30 times that amount for too long. Now, seniors on Medicare are paying $35 a month, and I won't stop until that applies to every American. President Biden is posting. Over 340,000 veteran survivors are already benefiting from the Build Back Better Act just 1 year after it was signed. Veterans are getting the health care they deserve in every corner of the country. President Biden is showing a photograph of Trump saying, Trump admits infrastructure promise isn't happening. Biden details an infrastructure decade that will create millions of American jobs. Folks, I just showed you the contrast. You can make the decision. Put in the comments how you feel.